It's a new day, and I believe that it's not just going to come like that. You will not leave today unattended to. I want to believe that. And so I want to welcome you to values. So where are you joining us from? Anywhere all over the world, all you can just do is to join us on our social media platform, and we're ready to rock today's boat. As you all know, today being Thursday, many market women are cleaning and making sure the environment is clean before they can start the day. But we always advise that it's an healthy Thursday for us here on Family and Values, because we cannot just talk about the values, what you need to put together, how you need to manage things, and those plans you need to put ahead without the health, because it's the normal saying that health is wealth. It doesn't matter. It's not about your money. You may have all the money in this world, but if you are not healthy, Ogbeni, you have to sit right. You have to look out for your well-being. How well have you been keeping up? Did you check your BP? When last did you do that? Did you check your sugar level? When last did you even check how much blood you have in your system? Okay, so this morning I still remain my humble self, Olori Adejoke Adobe David, and my friends call me Olori AJ. I don't know what your friends call you, but you can send it to me. So what you just need to do is to join us on all our social media platforms, and also use the number that will come on your screen to be part of the program, because I have Joy Girl here and she's looking all reddish. Yeah, because love, yes, love, yes, yes.
You know, very good morning to you. You say she's looking already, and you forgotten that you're putting on the same red top, right? Well, we are preaching love. We are saying let love lead today. Let love lead. Yes, in our society, we need more of love. Good morning to our esteemed viewers. Welcome to a Healthy Thursday on Family and Values. You know, now I've always said it, when you see these pretty ladies on your screen, you know, it's that time where you need to sit and learn and get educated and get insightful information on all you need to install those values, and God will help you. Yes, we are not leaving the youth out, the Gen Zs. Yes, we are all in for you today, and all through the show it's going to be about us, about family, about everyone. We are carrying everyone around, because that's what family is all about. Today we are preaching love, and we are saying let love lead. In your little way you can help someone. It doesn't cost anything to extend a helping hand. That's what we are trying to tell you today. Let love lead. Welcome to the show. My name still remains Joy Abu, and don't forget, we are streaming across all our social media platforms. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that you can always watch even past episodes, so that you can go back, learn, relearn. One thing about life is keep learning, that you would always stay informed. Yeah, so that's it.
So keep learning, so that you can always stay informed. The guests we have inside the house this morning. I don't want to. I don't want to leave. Take so much time. So we need to go. We are going to run.
You need to run fast.
We're going for a mini feature. I will be right back with our guest, because he's right here. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Going to waste time. You already know our topic. It's drug abuse. How well do you see people around you? Who are those people that you see around you that you notice? You know, when you see them, you know this person is under influence. But how do you treat them? We'll be discussing with none other than Dr. Dokun Adedeji. He is the CEO of Compassionate Care Recovery Initiative. He's also a member special purpose committee of CCEO with the NDLEA. This man has been into many places. I tell you, it's one of the reasons why he decided to leave Cadbury and join the cause of seeing how the well-being of our youth, because if we don't look into that now, I tell you, you'll not be able to walk on the street. So you think it's a joke. Wait until you hear from him. Good morning so much. They are happy.
Good morning, sir.
Having you this morning, it's like $1 billion just got deposited in my account. I'm telling you. I'm not saying it just to make you feel like, but seriously, because of what you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate the compliments. It's a pleasure.
That's so much about you.
Thank you.
Because you're always busy to have you.
Thank
you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're looking at drug abuse. Hi. What is drug abuse?
Let me first of all say this. I'm so delighted that you are highlighting this. It's something that's become invisible or silent, and people forget about it. And so I'm glad. But the other aspect to it I keep saying is one thing to bring me to talk about it. There must be a consistent effort in highlighting this, for letting people know the dangers and the consequences of the circumstances we are in now. But now let me go to your question. I'd like to take it like this so that we can have a trajectory. When you say drug abuse, there's an initial stage you say use.
Yeah.
Somebody uses. It could be for experimental reasons, it could be for social reasons, it could be for an occasional event, it could be peer pressure. The person uses. Then it goes into abuse. Abuse comes when it becomes regular. The person now needs to use, feels like I need to use the drug to give me the feeling that I had the first time. And then it goes on into tolerance. Then the person, in spite of the consequences of what he feels, whether social or that, he still continues to use. And then he begins to enjoy it. He begins to get acquainted with it. It doesn't bother him anymore. And then it goes into a stage of dependence. Dependence then means, oh, there are consequences, there are social, legal, whatever, but I don't mind, because my life depends on it, as if I must use it to get the benefit of doing certain things that I want to do. Then the final point is addiction. Addiction is a situation in which the person cannot in any way, it becomes a compulsion that I must use. It's not a matter of choice. So you can see the graduation of it. And as you said in your narrative, which I like, is the fact that the person uses drugs does not make him an addict. So people must begin to understand, and because we don't have an understanding of that, is why we are judgmental and why we profile them as criminals or there, but it's not true. A lot of people use drugs to come to the office. Doctors use drugs, lawyers use drugs, any profession, even pilots use drugs. So they come and then they work. Until you say what you said about being observant and checking subtle things, you may not know. Until it becomes a challenge to the person that he has a substance abuse disorder, then it becomes obvious.
Okay, I would like us to talk about unprescribed drugs. You know, even as parents, we do that mistake a whole lot. Once the child is sick, the first thing you're reaching out to, in your mind, you've already, oh, this could be malaria, and you've already gone to the pharmacy, give me this, give me that, simply because you feel that is what should cure. Now, how has the use of unprescribed drugs affected the rate of drug abuse in the society?
Well, I'm glad you're asking the question, because we must separate them. That is a different ball game entirely. That's like misuse of drug when they are unprescribed, because you go to buy yourself. The danger in it is what it does to the health or what it does to the person. It is not in any way related to the use of drug, because that's why today we don't call it, people call it drug abuse, but ideally we call it substance abuse. Because there are a lot of things that are not drugs that are used for addiction, and so that's why we must separate. But what you say is true, and I think parents need to know this. Today we cannot be careless with the kind of drugs we buy off the street, off the counter, because there are fake drugs, there are adulterated drugs, people do all kinds of things. So you need to be sure the kind of drugs you're giving your kid. You may go and they say paracetamol, or it is not really paracetamol. Again, it depends on the dosage level, because people can go about to those who may, particularly those who travel about to buy the antibiotics, the lecithin capsules, and say, do me something they call ampicillin. That's supposed to be 250 milligrams of 500. They say, make it 125, add something else, and they sell it as 250. So there are all kinds of things. But my advice to parents is, don't go buy drugs without somebody telling you and the kind of drugs to buy, because that could be a wrong diagnosis, and then you may be just covering something else that is more lethal than what you think.
Okay, more lethal than what we think. So what can we now say to be the exact misuse of drugs? With your wealth of experience, your wealth of knowledge, and many, victims you've been able to help to recover, how can you express or explain this to us? What are the exactly reason or causes why
people use drugs? That's interesting, because in your narrative, the person said, for as many addicts or for how many users you see, they have different reasons. One, low self-esteem is very primary among young people.
Yeah.
And that is something that I'm appealing to parents to help the children deliver on. Many of us as parents take away the ability of our children to take decisions. They're not confident in themselves. The kind of things we say to them leads to a kind of denigration of their persons. And when they now go out, somebody say, let's say for instance the mother compares 3 children. Out of your brothers, you are the only one that is lagging behind. The child already feels challenged by what the parent has said. If unfortunately he now gets to school and is not doing too well, the teacher says, you are a dull child. That is the reinforcement
of what the
parent had said. And then if that person begins to get it across, which is wrong, which is untrue, that becomes a problem with the self-esteem. So he sees himself unable to compete with others. He's not himself in the same category with the other people, even with his siblings. So that could be one, self-esteem. Peer pressure. And one of the things, and I'm glad government recently came out and said young people should not enter university younger than 18. But again, this is a funny country where people bypass the law. Again, I'm asking myself, upon what is the basis of government's directive? Do they have an empirical reason? It is not just to say, oh, I ran, they said, oh, they cause trouble. What kind of trouble? People forget that these young people were vilifying, they don't drop from heaven. They are amongst us, they are children, they are husbands, they are wives. Until we begin to look inwards and be considerate of other people and have empathy and try to help people, particularly when they're young, for parents. Many parents think it is when their kids are in their teens that I can begin to talk to them. Is wrong. If you lose your children from when they're growing up, you can't get them when they're teenagers. Peer pressure, availability of these things. I'm so glad when NAFDAC said we will ban all these sachet drinks. But you can see the pressure, even coming from House of Representatives, say, oh, you have to unban. There is no understanding. Did they ask this woman why she did that? And they say, oh, we lost of jobs. It's not true. Jobs will not be lost because they will still be producing the alcohol. But they're saying, do not produce to the extent that anyone can afford it. And Nigeria is not the place where you can say you don't sell to young people. So those are issues, affordability and accessibility. And also the fact that people can walk anywhere and get these things. And the social dislocation in the society, family dysfunction. Mom and dad, they don't live together, so the child has the ability of floating in between, so you don't know where he is. Not only that, people can live together and yet they're not parents. And there's not enough emotional attention to these children, particularly from fathers. Fathers say, oh, I pay your school fees, why do you want to bother me? But it's not only about money, it's not only about financial, it's about emotional, it's about attention. When they have let me give you an example. A young person goes to the father or mom and say, Dad, I'd like to ask you a question. And they say, oh, can't you see that I'm very busy, come back later. I can guarantee you that child is not going to come back. If you now call the child and ask, we say, oh no, Daddy, don't worry, I've sorted it out. Where did he sort it out from? If you could sort it out from somewhere, where did it come to you? So that's how we lose our children. And so when we don't give them enough, I'm not saying we should spoil our children. I'm just saying, no matter the work you do, you must have time for your children.
For your children.
Weekend, what do? We don't stay at home. We go to parties. And then who do we leave our children in care of? The driver, the housemaid. If the person is a corrupt, why would they be a housemaid? So they're also limited in their ability to give your children the desired things they want. So those are the gamut. I mean, those are just a few I can tell you. But a lot of reasons exist why people use drugs.
Okay.
Mental issue, mental health.
Yeah, I remember sometime, I think 2 years ago, we're doing an advocacy on drugs, and then we went to the slums. And I saw a lot in the slums. It took, when you go there, you need to act like them so they can open up to you. And you will see a child, as I call them children, 7 years, 8 years.
Absolutely.
They are already inhaling because they've grown into that environment where the father, the mother, everybody is doing it. And then for a while I thought that, okay, maybe it's because they are poor. And then I switched over to the elites, the middle class kids, and you discover that there is a higher rate of use of abuse of substance among them. In fact, a cabman told me that he had to take a lady, a girl of 16, far away to a place. They got drunk. He waited. He said the girl spent close to 250,000 at the spots. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if we say the ones in the slum is because of poverty, what are we going to say about these ones?
Right.
And those rich ones go to the slum to buy from these ones.
You see, you are raising very pertinent issues, and that's what I said at the beginning. The way we are treating the issue of substance abuse is painful for me.
We just feel it's those ones in the slums that you just go there and raid them and...
the thing is, we are acting with sensationalism. We just... Look, let me tell you, if not for General Marwa and the new NDLA, our situation would be much worse. I'm telling you, it's not because I work with him, I work with them. The thing is, the carelessness, the nonchalance, the criminal neglect we extend to this thing is painful. Let me also tell the media, you went, or you saw it, maybe that elicit an attention to it that we should come and discuss it. What is the media doing? There was a time Lola Fanikaude did a documentary, Mind Bending. If we don't have something sustained, a campaign that is sustained, NDLA cannot do all this. Look, NDLA cannot be everywhere. They cannot be in schools, they cannot be in your homes, they cannot be in they cannot be at parties that we organize. So who are going to be there? Us, the family. How many parents know about substance abuse? Even when they know their kids are involved, they pretend they seclude them, they hide them. And there are some rich people send them abroad, and then they multiply their woes. The thing that I'm saying, everyone must be involved in this matter, in the sense that it affects every sector of our living. And let me give you a few statistics for you to understand what I'm saying. In 2017, the UNODC, Office of United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, did a global survey of prevalence rate of use of drugs across the world. In 2018, they published the result, which is still subsistent till today because none else has been done except speculations. And then they found out, this was between ages 15 and 64, they found that the highest rate, the global prevalence rate, the average is 5.6%. Nigerian zone is 14.3%. We almost triple global average. And which also translates to about 14 to 15 million Nigerians who had used drugs the previous year. But now let me tell you the significance. Liberia, as a country, has 5 million people. Mauritania, 4 million people. The Gambia, 2 million. Guinea-Bissau, 2 million. That comes to 13 million. It means that the population of drug users in Nigeria can fill a nation. So if we don't look at it, and say, excuse me, and that was in 2018. By 2020, Mr. Oliver Storr, who is the Nigerian director of UNODC, said it had gone to between 20 and 25 million people.
Wow.
And they said by 2030, it will have gone on about 40%. If Nigerian situation begins to go that exponentially, tell me how you want to be. And I tell you for free, there's no higher institution in Nigeria, particularly the Christian ones, that don't have drug issue.
In fact, they have more.
They have. You know why they have more? Parents who know take their children away, take them there, say, oh, it's a Christian institution. but the child is spoiled. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? So you expect the school to correct. They called the father and said, we'd like to see you. He said, why? I said, we want to suspend your child. He said, look, I am far away, I can't come. Tell me why. They said the curtain withdraw. He says, is that why you are calling me? I know, that's why I brought him to your school.
Wow.
And that is just one. Yesterday, for you to know how parents
react to,
and not only that, and then we enable these children. Yesterday it was probably that the father was sitting a JAMB exam for his son.
Yeah, I read it.
So you then begin, look, I don't like it when we are so concerned about the youth and we say youth. Where did they get it from? They learned it from somewhere.
From somewhere.
I've been places to talk and they will say to me in churches, they say, my father sells, my father uses. So if a father uses, how can he tell?
How can you tell? It's like a father sending a child to go and buy alcohol.
Yes, no.
I mean,
it's nothing.
It's nothing.
You know, the alcohol, I'm glad you mentioned it.
Even cigarettes.
You know, I was saying something to you. Okay, let me finish with statistics. They then found out of 4 users in Nigeria, 1 is a female. Out of every 4 users, 1 is a female.
One is a female.
They found that the highest rate of use is between 25 and 39. Consider that age group. That's the productive age of our economy.
And those are the ones we consider the youth.
Who will take over from?
Who will take over from the
the one we supposedly believe our future.
Our future.
You know, the statistics says the highest rate of use in Nigeria is found in the southwest, 22.4%. And then in the southwest, Lagos has the highest rate.
Of course, Lagos will.
33%.
Lagos will.
But what do? We see them, we call them area boys, we profile them, we do, you know, we do knee-jerk reactions. We just carry them, go and put them. That's not the way. If you don't deal fundamentally with the issues we have, insecurity, who are the people? You think somebody can pick a gun and shoot without under the influence of something? You think somebody can rape another person's daughter?
Someone?
And that's why before they go for all these things, they have to take a lot into their system. And so they are not seeing you. Even if their father that is standing there, they don't see you.
All they're after is the delivery.
And that's why Marwa and the NJD is saying, do not criminalize the use of those things about, oh, I can't use and then jail you. No, you're making it. We need to look at the public health issue. If you look at public health, then it's the way, you see, the way you treat substance abuse should be the way you treat diabetes. Diabetes is a condition. Do we send them out of the home?
No.
Do we sequester them somewhere because they have diabetes or hypertension? We don't. We treat. And so that should be our attention now. How do we help these people? You can make noise, we can reduce exportation of it or importation of it, but what about the one that is domesticated? And I tell you, okay, now that takes me into, let me give you a few categories of substances that people use. They call them socially acceptable. Alcohol and cigarettes. Alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs in the world because it affects every organ of the body. But I tell you, no country can ban it because of the economic benefits that come from it. And if you go and check all those sachet drinks that NAFDAC has banned, you'll be shocked at the level of alcohol content.
Yes, they do. Most of them have over 18.
Even those sachets. I don't want to mention those. There are some, they call them bitters. One has 42% alcohol content. So if you then say a young child, as you mentioned, use that, nobody looks at it. Even if an adult drinks until it begins to fall in the gutters.
That's when we start raising alarm.
Then you leave that, you come to illicit drugs, cannabis, heroin, cocaine. You know why we now begin to worry a lot about cannabis? Because there are a lot of variants of cannabis, synthetic ones and natural ones. The synthetic ones are you call Colorado, Arizona, Canadian
loud.
Let's go for this break because we went out to do a little talk with some of the people out there. Why do they use drugs? So we'll be coming back. We'll be going for a word of marble and also listen to what people have to say on drug abuse. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Doctor is still here.
We can see in Nigeria today and all over the world that people misuse drugs and in a way that is not good, is not okay at all. You can see guys that use tramadol, I mean, what's it called? Codeine, for instance, is supposed to be used for those that have runny nose or runny nosey, but we can see they use it for something else these days, which is not supposed to be so. That is drug abuse. Drugs that are supposed to be a prescription from the doctor for certain usage is being abused by young youths of nowadays, which is not supposed to be so.
If you abuse drugs, like for example now, you went to the hospital and someone give you a paracetamol and say you should take two in the morning, 2 in the night, and you take 3, you can face anything that you want to face now. Because if you take that overdose, you no go work. After all, the sickness now go rise more. You know, say for this our country now, if they do something, say make this thing off fire. If that thing no off fire, it go catch fire. You understand what I talk? If that thing no catch fire, if you no quench fire, it go catch fire. So if you abuse drugs, my brother, that one I used to abuse, me I no get any much talk.
I think we can enlighten ourselves. We can help ourselves on what to do and what not to do in this case of drug usage. And if we are oriented on how we can go about this thing, we will see that changes will come. There will be changes, and we will live a better life. We will live an elongated life, and we will have a better Nigeria. So I'm appealing to my mates out there, youths out there, to desist from the abuse of drugs, and may God help us.
Blue Pen says, from Award of Mabu, the Blue Pen said that the goal isn't to be sober, the goal is to love yourself so much that you don't need to drink or do drugs. Yeah. The copper was saying something about the youth's use of tramadol, use of, I know you have many of them that you are going to unveil to us. The other guy also talked about, you know, taking an overdose of what the doctor has prescribed. But let's focus now on what the copper said.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I was telling about the classification of what we do, not in the sense of medicine. Socially acceptable, then you come to the illicit, you know, you mentioned cocaine, heroin, and you mentioned codeine. No, codeine will come in the prescription drugs.
Prescription drugs.
You know, I was talking about synthetic marijuana,
yes,
which is like Colorado, Arizona,
Canadian lounge.
You know what the young people don't know? They say, I take weed. And I ask them, what kind of weed?
You
see, the thing is, they don't even know what they take. Because all those synthetics, the cannabis content is just about 10 to 11%. The rest is made of chemicals and herbs. That is why you see those bizarre and weird reactions when they take it. And then you come to prescription drugs. Those are the ones that are becoming very common with young people.
With young people.
The codeine, the tramadol, Refnol, and things like that. And ice.
Yes, ice.
Ice is the category. Ice is the category of prescription. Illegal drug. Is that's methylcrystal. But you will shock you that Nigerians produce it, and they sell it. They call it ice on the street. And then the prescription drug, for instance, tramadol, which is used in hospital to treat moderate and severe pains, come in a dosage of maybe 50 milligram, maximum 100. But the tramadol you see on the street is about 200 milligram. 250 milligram, 500 milligram, 1,000 milligram. So they are not made for therapeutic uses. They are made for other purposes. And these young people have found out why. I'm careful to mention this because some are listening and then they don't get excited to use it. Refnol. Refnol, particularly, I tell, is what they call date rape drug. It's a tiny drug like
very
this.
tiny, please. Just put it on your tongue.
If you take it, if you want to know who takes it, they open their mouth.
It becomes, blue.
That's why they call it roofie.
Roofie, blue.
They call it roofie on the street.
Very common with the youth.
Particularly, I know why one should be very careful. If that thing is put in the drink of a young girl, people can rape her.
Yes, and
she will not know. She will know people rape her, but she can't recognize them. That's why they call it date rape drug. And then the last category is what you call miscellaneous, which you cannot call drugs. You can't call petrol drug. You can't call nail polish remover.
Nail polish remover.
Methylated spirit.
Yes, methylated spirit.
Pit latrine.
And
Sockaway. Rubber. Can you call those ones drug? And there's something in the north, they call it Zakami.
It's common with this young sets of northerners that go about making sure, they always
you look at the eyes.
Yes, they do.
You see that was why people felt that substance use is worse in the north. It is not true.
Because what they do, they just sniff, they sniff fuel.
Because they don't have the money to buy the stuff that other people can use. So that's the range you see. Like I mentioned to you, Zakami is usually found in the north. It's a seed.
Yes.
And then in the south, there's something called gegemu. It looks like a plant.
Yes.
And then people use it. So, and there's one they call akuskura. People do all kind of concussions. A young boy told me was in rehab. He said because they couldn't get drugs, they then get, let me not mention that, but they can concoct it. So I don't want to mention that somebody goes to try it.
Now, I would like for us to talk about, especially the ones that I have seen that is very common and rampant. Colorado. But aside that, you see this codeine. For them, if you ask them, they'll say, oh, because I want to sleep, it helps me relax my brain. And the mixture, you see someone, you see a young chap holding a bottle of soft drink. And in your mind, you feel it's soft drink. You see them walk around with it and you want to take it. Now you see that soft drink is a mixture of, they will use the soft drink that you and I drink. And then they will now add cough syrup. And then they will now add vitamin C. And by the time they finish this thing, and they give you a taste, it's actually very sweet. Now you can take a large quantity and before you know it, all your immunes are weakened. It's very common in the slums.
It's not only in the slums. It's very common at parties.
At parties,
some of them,
yes.
They make it into what they call squishies.
Yes, squishies, yes, squishies.
Squishies has a lot of content.
And, I've said to young people, before you go, don't go to the party of a friend of a friend. The person you don't know, and a friend that you haven't seen in 6 months is no more your friend. You need to check again. These parties, and also, if you want to go to parties, eat and drink in your house,
or buy your drink if it's possible.
And don't leave your drink unattended
to. You see, for instance, if somebody wants to open your drink
yourself.
If it's open, don't take it.
Because a little substance can be trapped by their nail, by their
someone sipping from your own content can drop something.
The thing is, we need to tell young people, not even only young people, young adults, to be very careful. You can't eat at parties. You can't just eat jollof rice, fried rice, beans, all those cakes, cookies. Because they're put, like the one you mentioned. Let me give you an example. They can get strawberry or zobo, put in a bowl, soak marijuana in it, put tramadol in it, put cough syrup in it, and then put ice. And then they begin to parties. And a lot of people just like that flip. And those are the things we're telling people today. There is no food or drink that is innocent. I know some universities that found out in their butteries they don't sell some beverage drinks, particularly the colored ones. They don't sell I don't want to call it. They don't sell noodles because they find out that people garnish those noodles with marijuana. With all
yes. Even with beans. With beans.
And you know, I think your narrative,
even with the rice,
your narration said something. There is no one who cannot use drugs. Very innocently, you can use it. If you eat it in somebody's beans, or you go visit and somebody gives you cookies, okay, and you don't know. The only thing, you just feel different, and then you know there's something wrong.
I remember in my final year, we actually went for one of our projects, and you know, these guys, they just cooked beans, but they were shouting, please, no lady should have a taste of these beans.
Okay, our time is fast spent.
Right.
So I don't want you to go without leaving something behind for us to always look back on. Yes, like I said, some of them, their lips, their tongue, their eyes, you can always know they are under influence. Illicit drugs. How can we help them? Where do we call? Is there an emergency toll-free line that the government has made? Can you give us that line? And also, I want you to promise us that you will give us series that can help us to do more advocacy on this.
I'll try.
Thank you, sir.
Let me start with this. This is a line I usually do. Parents have to be parents again. Wake up to their responsibilities. That's one. And then about number, NDLA has a toll-free number,
okay,
which people can call, and is in different languages, different people, professionals
Can
like
you give us
that.
that number?
The number is 0800
okay,
10 20 30 40. 0800 10 20 30 40. It's 24 hours and it's in all language, Pidgin, outside Igbo. It's a toll-free line. You don't even have to mention your name or where you live. Just call it.
Doctor, before you go, there is a concern. How do we assure these people that they will not be arrested? Because there's a lot of raiding that goes on, and then you see them, so the fear of even them admitting, like, okay, fine, I know this, because most of them need help, genuinely, a lot of them, but the fear of stigmatization, the fear of criminalizing it, like you said, has made them, you know, going, they don't just, how do we give them that reassurance?
Issues like this, awareness like this, and then what is being done in NDLA, they do sorting. When they arrest, because they go to join their, they sort them out. And then those people that don't need to be punished, they send them for rehab in their unit. So the thing is, if we don't keep talking about it, if parents don't keep talking about it, if churches, mosques don't keep talking about it, and take it as a topical issue, and advise and educate people, it is ignorance that is causing many of our profiling and judgmental nature. The moment we all begin to understand, appreciate that this person can be my husband, can be my son, can be my daughter, can be, so until we change our attitude.
Okay, until we change our attitude. Once a big thank you to you, Doctor. Thank you for finding time.
Thank you very much.
When we call you again, you'll be here. By the grace of the Almighty God, God will continue to strengthen you and help you. We've been talking with Dr. Dokun Adedeji. He's the CEO of Compassionate Care Recovery Initiative, a member of Special Purpose Committee of CCE. As possible, your family, your children, people around you that you think you need to help. It will go a long way. It's a toll-free line in different languages at that. Joy, what do you have to say?
Yes, if you've not had encounter with close relatives who have abused the use of substances, you will not really understand what we are trying to push out. And for you to think your child is innocent, your child is not innocent, because your child is going to mix with the society, is going to mix with these people, and it takes with, oh, just take it, sip, just taste, it costs nothing. From there, the addiction starts. What we are preaching is love, and we are saying try as much as possible as parents, like I used to say, check your children's bags. When they come back, see, have an interaction with them. You can perceive most of those things, you know. Don't be too careless. That's just what I want to say. And if you find out that your child is into drugs, please do not hide. Bring the child out for us. There are numbers for us to call. Reach out and get help. The earlier, the better. Thank you for being a part of Family and Values today. My name still remains Joy Abu. I'll see you tomorrow.
So don't forget, always look out for how they are presenting themselves. Look out, their eyes, their thongs, their friends. Know the friends. If they are going somewhere, give me the friend's number, the area she stays or he stays, how long have you known. Try to be, when you are their friends, it will be easy for you to notice all these things. And I've seen a child that went to school and the friend planted drugs in her bags. Like Joy said, check their bags. They have something that is of interest that you need to take note of. My name is Remain Adejoke to be David. I hope you had a wonderful time with us today. Don't forget, we'll be here tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Have a splendid day. Thank you. Bye for now.